So good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. So, Ashutosh, right?
Yes.
Lovely. My name is Divyam. Welcome to your Clapping Go session. Would this be your first session with us?
Yes, this is the first session with you particularly. I have done a lot of session with other trainers, but I'm meeting with you for the first time, as far as I remember. I
Yes,
have
yes,
seen
definitely.
you on YouTube. Yeah, it's been really long since I have been watching your video. Like 2 years or 3 years ago, I watched a lot of videos of yours with other YouTubers, but I didn't have any opportunity to have a video with
That's great. So now we have the opportunity to have a conversation.
you. Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. What would you like to talk about today?
Anything, whatever actually you want me to talk about, I would be ready for that.
Awesome. So you want me to come up with the topic, right?
Yes, anything, questions or topics.
Awesome. So let me give you a small hypothetical. Um, okay, before we do that, do you watch like superhero movies of any kind?
So first of all, I want to tell you that I am not into movies at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
So,
watch movies. I have watched a few movies only. Only those were inspirational movies. I would say, if I talk about movies, I can say Bandit Queen, Pan Singh Tomar, Three Idiots, Tare Zameen Par, all of the movies based on like Main Singh Dhoni, based on Main Singh Dhoni, and all these movies I
biopic,
watched. Otherwise,
basically.
yes, yes.
Okay. So no, I mean just because I'm saying superhero doesn't mean movies. A lot of people follow superheroes through comics, through other sources like video games, you know. So you haven't come across any of those, something that's not something that interests you?
No, I'm not into games as well. I'm not into movies. I'm not into reading a lot. But of course, I follow a lot of speakers or the communicators. If I talk about that, I can say Jess Shetty, Priyanka Chopra, or a lot of speakers from all around the world, like Tom Bayo, Steve Harvey, Ellen DeGeneres. So I follow their speeches to become better. Otherwise, I am not more into games. Yes, when I was at a school, I used to play cricket offline, but I'm not into video games.
Okay, good. So if I come up with a hypothetical in terms of the superhero category, the topic, I think it'll be good for you because it will encourage creative thinking and you won't get sort of corrupted by other ideas, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Are you open to that
Sure.
topic? Should we have a 10-minute conversation on that?
Yes, we can try.
Okay, let me ask you a very generic question, and I'm sure you've heard a lot. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Superpowers, what actually to control time, because it's very difficult to control time, I would say. But I,
Sorry, you were talking about superpowers.
yes, I was telling that if I can get one, I would love to get the controlling power of time. So I can control it and I can do whatever I can do. And of course, going back and changing things, whatever I have done in the past, maybe I would love to change it in the right way, like whatever I think now. So that would be the superpower because time is something which everybody wants to get hold on, but it's very difficult to do so. And once you waste your time, it does not come back, and only regret you have. That's what I want. So time is so powerful, and that time can, of course, destroy you. At the same time, time can make you a superstar.
Okay, so now you told us why you would like that power. Why don't you tell me how you would use that power to make your life better or to help other people?
Yes, when it comes to me, as I told you that I would change the things which I have done in the past and they were not that useful or they were not that mature decisions. That change I can do in my life. Okay. When it comes to others, of course, many people are suffering due to the wrong decisions in their teenagers or in their school time. They didn't study well or they didn't choose something which can be right for them. Of course, they chose something which they were thinking that was right for them, but it did not work. So I would love to change something in their life as well. So means getting the power to change others' life as well, to go back in the past, that I would love to do so. And to instruct people maybe so they can do it for themselves too.
Okay. So on a larger scale, if you had an opportunity to go back to any single historical event to change the outcome of that event, what do you think you would do?
Yeah, I would go to that the Germany thing which Hitler did, and that was so pathetic. Of course, many people died, and he gave them punishment, and he wanted to kill all the Jews. So I would love to change that, of course. So that would
Yeah.
be good. That
How would you do
everybody
that?
has a right to live. Mhm. How would I do it? Actually, that's so difficult, of course, to make
That's what we're
actually.
practicing here. I want you to start getting
Mhm.
creative with how you
Mhm.
would handle a certain problem, you know?
How would I handle it? It is something which I don't know, like that situation which I said. I don't know how would I handle it, because the Hitler was unstoppable, and of course many people tried to convince him, and many people tried to make him understand, but he didn't understand. So I don't think so. Like if I would have any strong or the powerful idea to make him understand that don't do this.
Oh, so you would try to go and reason with Hitler himself to explain to him why it's a bad thing.
Maybe, of course, I would ask him that why are you doing it? But as I told you that many people try to convince him, I'm not the only one who is thinking this right now. When he was taking such decisions, many leaders were there, right? And they were trying to make him understand that this is not so good, right? Even though nowadays also you can see when there is a war between this Ukraine and Russia. So many people trying to convince this Vladimir Putin, and of course they are trying to make understand to Zelensky as well, but they are not understanding, they are continuing that. So I would do the same, but I'm telling that that would not be the solution of that, because he wouldn't understand what I would say.
I was just going to say that it's very bold of you to say that you could convince Hitler to do something, that he didn't want to do.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Maybe so
so
difficult, but we can try.
definitely, yeah, but I think a better use of that opportunity would be to go and inform or to go and give information to other countries, the allies as they call it, right? So go and tell the allies why some like when something is going to happen, how it's going to happen, so that maybe they can neutralize the threat before it becomes incredibly serious, right? Because
Mhm.
initially Hitler started his uh, I wouldn't say conquering. He's more like attacking countries. He started off with
Mhm.
Poland, right? So when
Mhm.
he started attacking Poland, all the other countries started getting a little bit more alert that hey, this is something that might become incredibly dangerous in the future. That's when they started, sort of aligning with each other's interests and forming this allied group. So it was more like Britain, US, Australia, France, but obviously they had to surrender France really quickly. But I think another way to strategically handle this opportunity would be to go back in time and let them know that, hey, this is going to happen. This is when they're going to attack France. So that they can either be more prepared to handle that attack and
Mhm.
stop him in his sort of, so they don't let him gain momentum in the war, right? Or
Right.
a very dramatic or I would say extreme way to handle it is just go back in time and eliminate young Hitler before he even became like the ruler of the country, I would say. But that is again very extreme. That's something that a lot of people keep
Mhm.
saying online on the internet. But when they say it, it sounds so funny because you are a person who's working for a company for a job for a salary, and you're talking about going back in the past and just killing a human being. Like, I mean, how does that, you know, how do
Yeah,
you
it's not make
process that?
sense.
Yeah. All right. So you said superhero, you would like to control time, right? Um,
Mhm.
if you had the opportunity to change certain rules in humanity, right? So there are certain things that humans think are normal because the rules were set like that from the start, right? So if there are certain rules you would like to change, whether they're laws, whether they're how people function, what would you like to change? I'll give you an example. Okay.
Mhm.
I am the kind of person that eats just to live. There are two type of people: somebody who
Mhm.
eats to survive and somebody who survives to eat, right?
Right.
So I'm the kind of
Mhm.
person that hates eating food. Like when I'm doing work and my family is like, come have your lunch, have your dinner, I feel very like, oh my god, I don't want to stop that momentum. I don't want to stop that flow that I was in. So I generally only have one meal a day. I'll have like a breakfast. I'll have breakfast in the morning, and then directly, yeah, I'll eat breakfast at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll directly eat at like 12 o'clock at night now, right? So if it was up to me, if I had the power of time or maybe convincing somebody, I would make less meals more acceptable, I would say, like, because I don't understand this logic of having 3 meals a day, right? Personally, I know this is a very selfish, very stupid thing to say, but this is something that I want to talk about because for me it's so annoying that I have to eat 3 meals a day. Like my body needs 3 meals. I don't understand that logic. I would rather just sit for half an hour or 1 hour in the whole day, have all my meals together, and then get back to doing my work or doing whatever I'm doing. So what is something that you would like to change?
Yeah, whatever the point you said, that is absolutely right. First, I want to give reflection on that. So we need to live here not to just eat food. Only we get food to nourish our body. But sometimes we actually eat that much that we again need rest. We eat food to be productive or to get energized, right? But
Yeah.
what happens sometimes we do overeating, then we again have to do rest. If I talk about the people particularly who just go for this meat stuff, and if they take a heavy meal, it's very difficult for them to digest within 24 hours. Even though I heard from many people that it takes 48 hours or 72 hours for that heavy meal, means that whole 3 days you will feel full or you will not feel that active or the productive to do things. Right? So it does not make any sense. The goal of just to eat something is to make you energized so you can be more productive and you can be active. But that is people, the way people are using it, that is completely opposite. Okay. So with me, actually, what I would love to change, actually, I was thinking about it, but as I was giving reflection, I forgot. So actually, what is very important, I think, is, oh my goodness, I was thinking a point, but I forgot now because I started giving reflection. Yes, yes, okay. Actually, nowadays I see many people are committing suicide. Why? Many students, many just actually school going students or the college going students or the preparing for the NEET, IIT, JEE. So I would love to change that. That academics is not the whole life. Academics, of course, that's absolutely right. You are working hard for your goal, but that is not everything. That if you do not achieve a particular thing in your life that you are going to die. Like suppose if you want to get IIT Bombay, but if you don't get it, so it does not make any sense to end your life. But most of the people are doing it right now. So academics is only the part of your life. Once you pass your school and college, rarely somebody asked you that how many percentage did you get in your school or how was your score in your college, right? Once you are 35 on the 40 and doing well in your work, nobody asks you for that. That's what I feel. So it is very important to make them understand that academics is not whole life, it is the part of life. So there are many ways to become successful. At the same time, there are many ways to live peaceful life. So that's what I would say. Because many people are running behind the luxurious life. I agree with the point that luxuries and the things give comfort, but not happiness or not peace. Sometimes we are working that hard that exploiting the peace of mind to get peace. People are not
Correct.
able to sleep. People get insomnia. But they talk about why they are working hard to get the comfort in their life. What kind of comfort they are getting if they are not able to sleep at night, right?
Well, let me just tell you something. I think the difference is I don't completely disagree with you. I agree with most of the points, like 75%. But in terms of the efforts that people are doing, I think what they're doing is they're sacrificing their short term peace of mind and psychological comfort for long term gains or long term comfort, right? I'll give you an
Mhm, mhm,
example. Imagine you are contracted with building an apartment complex or some sort of government building, right? So but it's incredibly tiring, and it's incredibly, effort. It's an effort driven project, right? So you can't sleep more than 5 hours a day because you have to be at the project site, you have to manage all the workers and everything. But if you do that for 3 years, I'm assuming it takes 3 years to make a building, a normal building. If you do that for 3 years, for the next 100 years, your family's name is going to be in the construction business, or it's going to be recommended much more when it comes to government projects, right? So this is where people wouldn't mind sacrificing their short-term mental peace or even a little bit of their health, because you are going to your health is going to deteriorate when you don't sleep as often as you used to, or you don't rest enough,
Mhm.
right? So I think I understand the whole examination part where people sacrifice in the short term for the long term gains. But I do agree with you that they shouldn't place so much importance on the percentage. But I also understand the other side of the story where there are people who come from nothing and this is their only shot at either becoming financially stable or providing something for their family, right? And I think the reason they end up taking bad news so harshly or like punishing themselves for it is because they have this thing in their mind that there is no second chance, or I've let my family down, how will I look at them, how will I face them, you know and I think it has to do a lot with guilt, because they feel like, oh, I don't know why I slept 3 hours a day. If I hadn't slept 3 hours a day, maybe I would have scored 10 more marks, right? So I think I get your point and I'm with you on that it should stop. But I think a better way to handle that is probably create systems through which people are able to cope with it better, or create resources where we let them know that, hey, you're studying for 3 hours and you're learning, let's say 10% of your syllabus, right? Here's what you can do to do the same amount of work in 2 hours. So you save time to eat, to socialize with your family, to get your rest, right? I think that is a much better investment in the future of like people who could harm themselves because they didn't achieve their goals, I would say, right?
Exactly. That's absolutely right. The first point, what you said about the sacrificing the short-term things for the long time. But actually, as you talked about the building and things, but who knows that will be there. Take the example of Dharali. Okay. And just many examples are there. You don't know about the natural disasters, what can happen, right? So put efforts, don't do like a lot of extra endeavors to hamper your life. Maybe if you get the heart attack, what will happen, right? Who will enjoy all those things which you are working for? Maybe your incoming generation, but at least you want to get comfort from it, because now I don't think so people are that actually thoughtful, or actually kind of monks, that in the past people used to plant the trees, and they would plant the trees so their grandkids would get the benefits of it. But nowadays I don't feel that people are that much thinking about it. People want to enjoy whatever they are doing right now. Obviously they're working hard so they can get the enjoyment. But actually I mean to say is that have a have a good schedule, of course, put your 100%, give it. Like, it does not mean that you are costing your life for that. You are just working really hard to stay for 5 or 10 years, and suppose like after 10 years if you get a mental issue, what? No certainty, right? That's what I'm talking about. So keep enjoying the process. Actually, whatever you are doing, just don't do that much that you are not able to enjoy at that time also. Just you are postponing your happiness for what? That when building will be constructed, then you will enjoy. But do you know that is there any certainty that after once there will be the completion of the building, you will get the money whatever you are expecting from it? Or anything can happen, right? Any single thing can ruin your whole building. Example,
Right.
recent example of Bharati, right?
I understand your perspective. See, I'll be honest, if everybody thought like that, everybody was asking for like certainty or any sort of guarantees on paper, then I don't think we would have successful people like Jeff Bezos or Ambani's or Adani's in our life. Because obviously, until you commit, you cannot be the best at what you're trying to do. Like you cannot be in the top 1%. Although I understand your point that yes, there's no point of studying for 10 years if you cannot maintain your mental sanity. And as soon as you get placed in like a crazy company with like a 3-4 crore rupee salary, and suddenly you're suffering with depression, insomnia, all these sort of mental issues, and then you can't maintain that job. You cannot give the output that the company is expecting you to do, right? So then there's no point. You
Yeah.
wasted 10 years. I completely understand that. See, I think this is a lovely conversation because I love it when I agree and disagree on some points, because there's always some sort of seesaw going on, I think, there are times where I completely agree with someone on a conversation and it becomes so boring, because I'm like, okay, what do I say now? I agree with them. We are on the same page. So it becomes, I'm just saying, it becomes very boring for me. So I think this is really cool because we can bounce off our perspectives against each other, like in terms of sharing stories or how we look at things. So I think it's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And in between, I was getting one example in my mind, that is Anna Sebastian, right? She
Mm-hmm.
worked really hard. She became a chartered accountant. She came from Kerala to work in Maharashtra. And within, like, it was like she was training, it was training period going on, and she died due to the extra workload from the company. So that I think, like, that is terrible. And I don't think people should do that hard work, right? So that is there, but of course, everybody has their own point. Even though I'm working hard to get something in my life, and that's pretty obvious. But what I learned is that extra endeavors are never ever going to help you. I mean to say that there is also a story which I heard from monks, that there was a guy and he was getting 40,000 rupees per month. And the company asked them to work 2 more hours and they would offer 5,000 rupees more. Okay, he started working. He was working for like around 10 hours. And then he started working for 12 hours and he started getting 45,000 rupees. Okay. Later, what happened? Company again asked him to just work 2 more hours for the company, like 14 hours a day, and they will offer 5,000 more. So the salary was 50,000 rupees now. And due to that, what happened? After a month, he got a severe back pain. Okay, and then he had to go to doctor, and he had to pay 10,000 rupees. So at the end of the month, salary was 40K only. And what he got in benefit, that was the big back pain.
Right, I think that's a good story. I see. I think 14 hours is, I mean, it's a crazy limit. I understand if somebody's
Yeah,
working 3 hours and then they get an extension of two, three
listen to
hours.
people like Bhavesh Agrawal or just
Mhm.
Narayan Murthy. They said like people should work 14 hours a day. And what Bhavesh Agrawal said, that people should work, he works 20 hours a day. So what's
Not
that?
possible. It's physically not. The math is absolutely incorrect on that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. How does one person do that? Are you saying he sleeps for 4 hours, but he doesn't eat, he doesn't use the washroom, he doesn't
Yes.
take care of
Hmm.
himself? It doesn't make
So
sense.
that is like totally like what I can say. People, of course, what they are saying, they should be thinking before saying it, right? You are saying something, you are on the top level, right? People follow you. So you can't say something that they should sacrifice everything for the work only. No family time, no personal time. Of course, 4 hours only. I can understand that if you are a businessman and if you are a founder of anything, of course you work mentally 24 by 7, that I can understand. Once you sleep, that's fine, but apart from this, always it is running in your mind, that I can understand and accept it. But if you say that you are working actively 20 hours a day, that is not right.
You're trying to set a wrong example, basically. You're encouraging unhealthy work environments and toxic culture, basically.
Yeah. And this is the responsibility of the people who are on the top, right? The people
Yeah,
are following you. So you shouldn't say something which is going to hamper their health and they should come out of their family due to that.
right.
Already many divorces are happening because people are not giving time to their family and they are just workaholic, working throughout the day.
Okay. So, as much as I hate ending this conversation, I have to get ready for another session now in a minute.
Mhm.
This was lovely. Thank you so much. I love that we had a conversation about all of our perspectives and we were able to share it openly, right?
Yeah,
So, hopefully, I'll be able to talk to you again and we'll have another interesting topic lined up. Yeah.
sure.
Do you
Yeah,
have any questions
it's
before we
okay.
leave?
No,
Awesome.
it was really nice. And thank you so much, Manuri. Thanks to you for your precious questions and time.
Don't say precious, please. It feels like, no, it just feels wrong. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you, and I'll see you soon.
Sure.
Bye bye. Have a nice week.
Bye. Take care.